Hello. I hope this works. Look how small everything is. Oh, that's actually pretty big. Probably not big enough for... I don't actually need the console today, do I? Terminal. Guess I don't. I'm not doing anything in the terminal today. I need this. So I'm still learning Visual Studio Code. I've never really needed it before. I don't really need it now. But, restart extension Y. I don't know, something went wrong with it. But, I don't know, I started using it to try to see how it was, and it seemed cool. Let's close that folder. So I just have a generic project I'm going to be working on today. I'm going to get it set up and hopefully get some traction on a new project. So moving from Dice Game to this will be the next project, the next game. It'll be a little bigger than Dice Game. And this might not actually, I might end up abandoning this and going with something smaller because I have a game in mind, game idea. It's just gonna, my projects seem to grow out of control and then they get too big for me. So I need to make sure that I'm, doing something within my means, so to speak. So let's do, can you do a new folder? Open folder, let's try this. And we're going to go into documents. Then I have one called games. So I'm going to make a new folder in there. I'm going to call it, I'm going to call this action game. I should call it fishing game. It's going to be a fishing themed game. I'll just call it action game for now. Okay, can you make folders in here? Yes, you can. Wow, look at that. New folder. Okay, so that's going to have a few things. It's going to have an art folder. It's going to have a music folder. It's going to have scenes, no, states folder. It's going to have main.lua. And then I guess let's make a new state file and we'll call this one, I call that overworld. I'll just call it walking or walk. That'd be good. So that'll be my main, walking around state. And then you could have like main menu.lua, that would be another one. And let's see, what else? Like in-game menu would be another one. In-game, and I should probably do like these underscore things, make it a little more readable. And let's rename that one main menu. Hey, nerd, thanks for spending your coffee points. First, big chonkin' spender. Big heckin' spender. Big spendos. I don't know. I really hope it's not. Is fungible tokens. Okay, damn, they're turned on. I didn't disable them, so if anybody wants to buy fungible tokens, they can. I am set up to do it. I should make, I should do this as a stream. Make the fungible tokens program, remake it in Lua because it's so much more infinitely quickly prototypable that I can make massive changes and make it even more ugly and terrible, and it wouldn't take a lot of work. Okay, so I want to do local, and this is in main Lua. So this is just setting up any Lua project. I'm setting it up from scratch, so I have these different folders here. Oh, and while I'm at it, let's see, I have in here this new font thing. I'm gonna say copy font white into, what did I call this? Action game. And I'm going to put it into art. All right, cool. So now I have this. You can't even see it, but that's the art for my font. This is a really cool font. It's called Pixel High Score. No, it's called New High Score Pixel Font. And it came from itch.io, the Ukraine bundle from 2 years ago that helped end that whole Ukraine war, right? Anyway, that had this in there for free. So I made a Lua or a love parsable file for it here. Which is really cool. The way love works is you just have to have these green or any color, any solid color at the very left, and then this is a space in between each of your letters, and then you just load it in Lua, and Lua you just print out. So you don't have to like render sprites and go to all the trouble that you'd have to do in C and SDL and C++ and all that. You just write that out as a string and it handles it all for you. So it's really cool. Okay, so we have that in there. So states, that is not a state, so maybe I need a new file in here, and I call it font.lua. So that'll handle all the writing and loading and all that stuff. But in here, in main, we want to do local love equals require love. So that's the first thing we're going to do. And then in here, we're going to have functions, love load, function love. Isn't it weird to see me use an IDE? Absolutely crazy. I use IDEs for when I do R coding and Python coding for work. But for all my game program, I always just use a text editor. So this is a new experience for me. Then we want to do update and DT. And then love draw. So those are your basic things. I don't know, I just do copy and paste every time. I need to learn this stuff. But I want to make the window a certain size. And I want to make it localized up to the upper left-hand quadrant of the screen. So I'm just going to open up another file. Here, we're going to just do it in Sublime Text. Open, and we're going to go documents, games. I don't think Dice Game has it, honestly. Because no, because I took it out for when so Dice Game's actually on itch.io now. It's called Dicey Poker. I made it a little more professional, so I don't have set mode, set full screen. Oh boy. I guess I can do this. You just copy that over. So this stuff I never learned because I just copy and paste it from everything. So I want to have some local variables here. So this will be load libraries, etc. And then down here, we're going to just do constant. Actually, no. We're going to do this. Const consts equals require consts. Okay. Why not? Let's just make it as stupid as possible. Consts Lua. Okay. Okay, so I'll put that in a second, but first we need to do, let's see. Sorry, I need to, I have it. Don't open my bank information on stream. That would be absolutely terrible. Now I have a thing here, a document that I made that has some stats that I want to up. Where did I put it? In progress. What's that? No. Okay. Bear with me. I'm terrible at this. I haven't done this in weeks, so, you know. Actually, since, I haven't done this since, I finished Dicey Poker. That was really gratifying to finally finish a project. Like, I've never finished a game project before. So it was pretty great to see that. Hmm. All right, I'm not seeing the file I need. Let's see. Is it maybe open recent? Oh, yeah, there it is. All right, ignore this. Okay. So, the interface to this game, or the input output, it's going to be like Link's Awakening. I want it to be like Link's Awakening, so that's what I'm going to be focusing on today, is sort of making walking around in Link's Awakening possible. It's going to be heavily based on the design and the color scheme. I'd like to be Game Boy Color, washed out color scheme, kind of like Lufia the Legend Returns colors. I think would be great. And because I love the color scheme of Lufia the Legend Returns, it's Game Boy Color game, Lufia 3. They don't call it Lufia 3. But the colors are just so awful. It's not awful. They're so like washed out because it's Game Boy Color, you know. But it looks great. It's just so appealing to me, and it's very nostalgic feeling. So that's what I'd like to do with the aesthetic of this game is sort of harken back to Link's Awakening in gameplay terms. It's not going to be a combat based game. It's going to be a fishing based game. So harken back to Link's Awakening, but with fishing instead of combat, and then color scheme. I think Link's Awakening DX on Game Boy Color looks pretty good, but I think more like Lufia the Legend Returns color scheme. And I don't know about music. Maybe 8-bit inspired. I don't know. We'll get there when we get there. But I need to do a little bit of brainstorming, I guess, here. So the screen is going to be 10 by 9 tiles. So that could be, if there's 64 by 64, that would be 640 by 576, right? 9 times 64. 576, yeah. Okay, what about, that would be, or 1280 by, what is 576 times 2, 1152. Okay, that's actually pretty good. I think I can do that. That's almost 3 by 4. Not quite. Right? 4 by 3, I mean. So 1280 divided by 4 is equal to 320, and 1152 divided by 3, 384. So not quite. Almost, though. It's almost square. I hear neighbors shouting. I don't think they're shouting at me. So this will be, the screen will be 1280, and it's going to be consts, and then it's going to be 1152 times const. All right. I need a title here, so let's go back here. Where's my title? Set title. Love window set title. I should know that. I mean, that should be really easy. And we're gonna call this whatever, action game for now. I'll change that later. Because it will be an action game. It will be action packed. You'll be able to play it with a controller. Okay. The sprites then are 128 by 128. Yep, that's right. So the sprites are 128 by 128, so that's going to have to go in here. All right, so what we're going to do is local consts equals a table. And then consts. Okay. Here, I got to copy those values over here. Okay, at the end of this, we're going to return consts. Put an empty line underneath. Okay, so we're going to do consts scale x equals something. No. Something. What are you doing? Const dot scale y. I don't know what. Let's just put these equal to 1 for now. So consts screen width. What I'm going to do is 1280. Const screen height equals. Oh yeah, so that's 1152. Okay, consts canvas width equals 1280. Canvas height, oh my god, equals 1152. Okay, scale x, scale y. What this can actually equal is screen width divided by canvas width, and screen height divided by canvas. This doesn't matter for now. This is just for later when I give multiple screen sizes and whatnot. So, and I might not scale the whole thing. If it's square and we're looking at, you know, a widescreen display, as you do, then I might want this just to scale to the height and not the width. Why does it say 4? Undefined global. Oh, yeah. Of course. So I guess what I can do instead is this. What did I just do? What happened to it? Cut. Forgot. You can't just add things like that. Screen, 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 and watch those errors disappear, right? Now what's... You need commas. They're not errors, they're warnings. All right, I'm just going to do this now, and then we're going to do this, consts scale x. We just do this, 0, 0. Okay. No, interesting. Scale x, there we go. That's x, and this is actually y, so I had it wrong before. It's okay. There we go. So that should be good. So this is how you can load some constants from a file. This is one way to do it, so that I don't have to worry about this. Now, that's interesting. Undefined global screen. Why am I getting that? Undefined global screen underscore W. Oh, yeah, of course. That's why. Consts dot. Yeah, Lufia 3 was really cool. Our Lufia the Legend Returns was really cool. It was super cool because the dungeons, it was like the whole game was Ancient Cave. All the dungeons were, well, not all of them, I guess, like the top and bottom floors and boss floors were not, but the dungeons were procedurally generated. And that's pretty cool. It's a little repetitive because all the dungeons, you kind of learn pretty quick how to explore a dungeon and make the most of it. Because there's only so much you can do with procedural generation like that on that scale. But the combat's really cool too. The combat you have more than, you can have more than 9 characters in your party, but in your combat party you can put up to 9 characters in, and your characters by column, you get 3 attacks per round, and you choose one of the people from each column. And so you can have like healers in the back row, you know, and they can take the healing, they can take the turn for their column to heal somebody. And I think if the person in the front row, like the top row, if they die, it's game over. So you have to make sure your front row are all pretty strong and that they don't die. I never had any problems with it though. It wasn't like super hard, but it was really unique that they had this, you know, this thing where, okay, this character who's always good for me isn't working in this battle, so I'll use the person behind him with the bow and arrow who will do more damage. I think also if you timed it so it was turn-based, walking around the dungeon is turn-based, just like I think Ancient Cave and Lufia 2 is like that. you could, if you timed it right and you got in the right position, you could hit the enemy with a sword, which would initiate combat instead of just walking into them, and it would give you some kind of an advantage. Okay, so save. Everything looks good here. So this actually, I don't need the scale here. What I need is const and screen width and screen height and action game and blah, 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 blah. So I'm not getting any errors. Let's just see if this works. It does. So this is a really big for the stream. So I guess I'm going to have to move it down. I'm going to move it down just for development purposes. We're going to do 640 and 10 times 9, 576. 640 by 576. That's going to be a little small. Let's just take a look, a little looky-loo. All right, good. I don't like that it's launching in the middle of my screen here. Yeah. The whole game. I don't, you know, I've played Lufia 1. I never played Lufia 2. I've only seen people stream Lufia 2. I've only seen Ancient Cave because that seems to be what people love the most out of Lufia 2. I liked Lufia 1. It had an Ancient Cave, but it was very different. And let's see. So instead of just trying to find some BS here, why don't I go to the Love documentation site? So here we go. We're gonna just figure it out. Figure it out. We're just gonna figure it out. Yeah, well, yeah, Lufia 1 had a pretty dumb story too, but I mean it's not dumb, it's just standard. It's just like every other JRPG ever. So love.window. And it's really going to be like love.window set something, set position. Here we go. And display index, we don't really need that. So it's just set position and XY. Here, let's close that. Oh, yeah. I want to see something real quick. Okay, Finder is messing me up. So I need to relaunch Finder. I found a bug in macOS, but I figured out how to fix it. So let me just see if that fixed it. It did. Yes. Okay, good. It's a stupid bug. It doesn't require me explaining it. Window set position, but I figured it out. So we're just going to do this. Let's just see if that works. Boom. Okay, so now whenever I launch the game, it'll just be up here. Yeah, the prequel. Yeah, the beginning of Lufia 1 starts with a battle from like Ancient Heroes or something that it's several years before the game, and I think that's the end. It's supposed to be Lufia 2, the final battle is supposed to be that first battle. I wonder if I could just make this a little bigger, so 640, 960. Let's just try that. Whoops. So 960, and then 576 times 1.5, 864. 864. I might resize my OBS window if this is too big. Gah! It's it's like 20 pixels. Okay, it's fine. I have that. Let's can I possibly just resize that a little, please? You're on the right one. You're on the wrong one. What is this? Get rid of this. Okay. Too much. Too much. You can see OBS. I don't want that. All right. Well, the window's not perfect, but hey, you can now see the bottom of the stupid screen. So we're fine. We're absolutely fine. I will do this actually. Let's just do the math here. 960 over 640 is 1.5. Yeah, so good. I just wanted to be a little bigger for the screen. Okay. So I should probably have an actual function to do all this crap. Well, maybe I'll set that up later. So setup window. I'm gonna remove this later because you shouldn't set position on a game. It's annoying. Maybe like you save the position of where the person moves the window if you're in windowed mode, and then that's where you set the position. But I'll remove that later. Okay, so next we want to do load font. So let's load some fonts. And I actually do have, ignore this. I actually do have this easily accessible in one of my stupid, wherever I pulled that new font from. I actually have some really cool font functions here. So can I just bring this over here? This is actually really weird and cool, but I'll pull it up in here. I've been doing a lot of font stuff, and well, let's go to the other one first. 18. So this is that font in Action, that new pixel high score font that I got from Itch, and you can see I wrote a function that can like wave it around in a little sine wave here, which is pretty cool. Hey, Sax, thanks to the resub. You've seen this. This is what it looks like in action. It's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. And then I got a little crazy with it a couple days ago or yesterday. I can't remember when that was, but then I was like, why don't I add a rotating effect to it? So this is doing a sine wave and it's doing a rotate. So the letters are twirling around. And if you can't read it, it says this is unreadable bullshit because it is. But this is the kind of stuff I've been doing with my life for fun. So it's fun. It is fun. But the advantage here is I have all this little stuff here. So what we will do is we will open font.lua, paste that in there. I actually have not done I have not done requires in the way that Lua coders typically do requires, like loading libraries. So it's just a test to make sure that this works. So what we want to do is we want to call it local font, and we're going to make it a table. Then in here, I think we can call this function font.loadFont. And then what you do is you return font. So when you load this source file, it creates this, and then within that table there is a function called load font. Can you pass in a regular expression, or is it string only for argument 2? I don't know. I probably not. You probably can't do a regular expression for this load font thing. So this is maybe you can. If you have it would be simpler, right, to do A through Z or whatever. But I've not tried it. I'm not going to, and I just have this pre-prepared. So this is also the spacing. So if you don't do the spacing, they get like all really spaced out. Anyway, so what we're doing is we're loading the font. This is the Lua thing to do. You always declare something as local, and then at the end you return it. So you're like giving it to whoever's requesting it. And we make a local font, then we load it, and then we set the font equal to that. So this stays in memory, even though it's local, and you just never access it again. So I don't know. Okay, it's string only. I'm not surprised at that. Lua is pretty undefined global love. Okay. So we also need local love equals require love. So I have not done that here. So that is local to here. That should fix that. It did. Wow, I love this IDE thing. That's great. So now what we're going to do over here is we're going to say local font equals require font. Okay. So now I've loaded it, and now we can load the font by saying font load font. And that should be okay. Let's see if I get an error. I'm not getting any warnings or anything, but you never know. See, you got a little error happening here. So font white does not exist. Duh. That is an art. All right, it runs. Hooray. Yeah, it preserves it in memory. They have garbage collection that's automatic for stuff that you know, typically if something is no longer referring to a table, then it will garbage clean it or garbage collect it. But this, I guess, this graphics set font keeps a copy of that, so it's not going to unload it. As long as you have love loaded, it won't load this. So it's pretty cool like that. It's memory safe. Unlike all the C coding that I've ever done, which is all just a mess of segmentation faults. But you know, I got pretty good at managing those seg faults. Speaking of garbage collection, I saw a bunch of Java code today, and Java is absolute garbage. They should collect it. Oracle's going to start auditing companies using Java. What is what does that mean? Like, why can they do that? Are they allowed to do that? Java's open source, isn't it? They don't have control over it. Maybe they do. I don't know. Okay, we have the font. So we loaded the font. I guess I could just do a quick test that it works. And it's love.graphics.print. And hello, world. And we're just going to put that at 10. Hello, world. Why is it so big? Okay. So I need a font scale then. This will be, how big is the font, first of all? How big is this? I don't know how big this is. How many pixels are you, friend? 128 by 128. So they're 128 by 128. That makes sense. And I guess I want them to be, well, let's see. Why do you get those little dots onto there? I don't understand it. So font scale equals, we want it to be 64 times 1.5. So equals 96 over 120. I think that's still going to be too big. All right, let's go in here. 0 scale X. This is funny. They're like one behind because I'm actually on 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on argument 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on SX, but it seems to think I'm on SY. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. But it worked. Yeah, that's still a little too big. So maybe I should make it 32 by 32. Which would be 48. All right. Yep, you're still in here. Launch it. Hello, world. And it's a little small, maybe. Oh, fungible token. I think I could do that from here. I think I could do that from Visual Studio Code. Let's see. Explode token. No, that's not right. What is it called? Token generator? And we're gonna do nerd lowercase a birds. Did I spell that right? It's so tiny I can't read it. Well, wow, it worked. That's a blue alien with a black baseball cap. He's smiling. He's got an orange V-neck. It's orange. Hey, that's pretty good. You got an orange shirt with a blue alien. Those are Portal colors. Congratulations on your token. Let's see if that'll actually upload now. It looks like it did. It uploaded. Wow. 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 So let me go back and read. I missed some text here. Anyone using JRE without paying, they're going to hit them. Well, aren't there like open source alternatives to JRE? The Joe Rogan Experience. Yes, you should hit people who listen to that because it's horrific. Okay. Where was I? What am I doing? Okay, I wanted to just make this a little bigger, maybe. Let's just see how that looks. Okay, that's pretty good. That's about the size you want. Maybe. That's about the size we want. This is a Link to the Past, or no, a Link's Awakening. So that's about the size you'd want on screen. Maybe a little bigger. It's hard to tell, isn't it? Oh well, we'll figure it out. We'll get there. We will get there. Slowly but surely. Okay. So should I have a function for drawing stuff? Maybe. So I guess what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a state variable. State management. Okay. This is where it gets a little hairy. It gets a little hairy. A little Harry Potter. Because this is how I'm not gonna know. I'm not gonna know how to do this. These are okay. So we're gonna start with our state of being walk. So state equals walk. Okay. You don't even have to buy or sell those tokens. Just funge them. They're fungible. Anyone can funge. Just funge. Just funge. Funge. Okay, then we need to figure this out. So I'm gonna have in here probably local states dot walk equals require walk. Is that gonna work? No. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna set this equal to a table. Try that. Okay, I don't get any error from that, but it's not walk. It's states dot walk. Okay, I thought this is what you do. So when you're doing require statements, these are in the states folder. This is tiny, I apologize. So these are in the states folder. Here you can see, oh my god, moving around too much. It's in the states folder. So that's where all the states are. So to get in there to load that, it's not states/walk. No, it's states.walk. Makes sense. Okay, in there then, what we're going to have to do is if state is equal to walk, then we're going to do states walk update dt. So this is not, I did not do this in Dicey Poker. This is a lot more robust to do it this way. Don't funge in my dungeon. Yeah, I'm still looking for a way to make money on fungible tokens. So they could be the fungible tokens could be the monsters, or they could be the main character. Okay, so what I'm doing here then is Love automatically gives you an update and draw cycle. Like every tick they go update, draw, update, draw, update, draw. And so now that I have different states, I'm actually going to make a local function in there. I'm going to call it this states.walk update. And so that'll be specific to the state walk. And then that way, what I can do is else if state is equal to main menu, then here we would say states.main menu update dt. And I don't have these yet, else if state is equal to in-game menu, then states dot in-game menu dot update dt. Okay, so that way I don't have this. I had all this logic for like what functions you call and all that. In Dicey Poker, I had it all in Love update. And so I was like, if your state is equal to do this, then draw the dice and then do this and then click mouse that and so on and so forth. It was just an absolute mess. And so the way that I'm doing it here is it's a lot more, I'm like taking all that logic out of here and just saying, you know what, call that function over there. Call that state function. And you know what, I can even just do these, why not? So I think this is a nicer way to do it. Else if, ooh, look at that, I forgot. There's no space in else if in this language. State is equal to main menu, then states main menu dot draw. Else if state is equal to in-game menu, then states.ingame menu dot draw. So now I actually have to do all that, which is fine. So what we're gonna do is we want main menu equals require states.main menu. And then we want these in like alphabetical order or something. In-game menu. I do my C libraries, I do them all in alphabetical order when I'm loading them, and it's ridiculous. States.ingame menu. All right, cool. So I'm going to keep that tradition alive and do that here as well. You win Funge a fungible lucky hit game. Yeah, lucky hit would be a cool game. I actually I've thought about doing lucky hit. Like I've seriously sat down and thought about what would be involved in doing that. What do you know about the 4Woo-doo? I only remember one is called Don because it's like the name Dan. So I always just think Dan. All right, and then so let's get these set up. So walk, we're gonna do local walk equals this. Return walk at the end. And now we need function walk dot update dt function walk dot draw. And in here we'll probably need to load love. Local love equals require love. You really don't have to do that, but it doesn't like load the same thing 700 times. It only loads it once, as far as I know. All right, then let's go in here and do local main menu equals this. So I'm doing all this is a lot of, you know, I'm doing a lot of bullshit today. I did not do this bullshit with Dicey Poker, and I felt like constantly behind. So we're going to do function main menu dot update dt and function Main menu, draw. So I'm building this a little more sustainable from the beginning. I'm building it smart. Okay, get rid of that. And here we go. The local in-game menu equals this. Function, in-game menu, update, DT. Function, in-game menu, draw, turn. Boom. Got it. We got it. We did it, Reddit. So I have all those now, and we'll come back to this in just a second. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. This should be fine. Let's just see what errors we get. Nothing. It works. It loads. It's doing state management. It's built in. I've built in state management. And as I think of different states that I want to add, like fishing is going to be a state. Why don't we just add it? I mean, come on. I put the skeleton in here. We got it. Fishing.lua. That's a state. That's how easy it is. Boom. We got it. It's in there. It's state managed. State is managed. Yes, this is going to be a fishing game. This is a fishing based game. All right. So then I can add up here. Alphabetical order. Boom, we got it. I should probably also put these in alphabetical order, right? So, hang on. It doesn't like if you do it that way. So what we're gonna do is this, and then this, and then this, and there we go. There's absolutely no reason to do this in alphabetical order other than just my lunacy. Fishing dot update dt else if. There we go, that should be good. And then let's do it down here. If state is equal to fishing, then the states.fishing.draw. Else if. Then we want to do main menu. Copied both lines. Else if. Okay. Yeah, that's sort of annoying. Every time I add a new state, I'm gonna have to shift these around. But you know, honestly, I did all the shifting just now, so I'll just have to put it in the right place if I maintain my alphabetical order lunacy. But let's see. So it's that easy. I just added a whole state for fishing. Wow. Wow. So so we have it. A state management system. I have this in Dicey in Dicey Poker. It is so horrible. I mean, I can just open an example of that. So if I go into there, games Dicey Poker. If you haven't played Dicey Poker, I suggest you download it. It's super fun. I have played it way too much. This though, the code is absolutely miserable and not robust. And you know, I thought about making some changes and adding new stuff, and it's just an absolute nightmare. So, like for example, in love.update, if not menu, then you go to game decider, and then that has all the stuff that decides the stuff what gets called. And in draw, if it's meant, it's like, this is ridiculous. Like to have this logic here, it's so ugly and horrible. But this was my first game ever that used states. So I didn't use states in any of my C games, my SDLs. I didn't manage state this way. So oh yeah, and I'll have to do mouse pressed mouse released, key pressed, all that stuff. I can add those functions to the different states, and it'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. Thanks for linking that, Zax. It's cool. I have like 8 downloads, so I am kind of a big deal over on itch.io with my 8 downloads. It's still on the first page for dice games. Like if you sort by newest, it's maybe 3 or 4 rows down, but it's still on there. Last time I checked, and it is fun. It's fun to me. I mean, I could sit and play it for hours, which is not. That's probably a little embarrassing, but okay. So just in another example, I do need options as a state too. So in your options, so you're gonna have options, right? So let's just add that real quick. Options, boom. Local options equals this. Options function options.update dt. And you might not even use update in the options screen. You might not use it ever. So, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to have anything in that function. It can be an empty function. No one's going to care. No one's even going to know. There are no police, function police. I love Elsif in Lua. It's so funny. Okay, that's in DT. That's in update. And then down here, this is awesome. Like I'm just adding these because I think this is such a sustainable, like robust way to do this. I'm so impressed with myself. It's really probably there are better ways to do it. Like a million better ways to do it. There are whole libraries you can download and they do this stuff for you. But I'm still proud of it. I'm still proud of building it from scratch. It's so simple and stupid. Okay, so I'm also just avoiding doing this. Okay, so I guess what I need now is, we're in the walking around state. That's where we're gonna start. So what I need to do is, I do need key pressed. Do I have a, yeah, look at that. So this is going to be love, is it dot keyboard? No, it's love.keypress. I don't know why they do that. So we don't need this. Let's close that. So let's go back into here. I need in here now function. So we do need keys. So love.keypressed. And it is key, scan code, and is repeat. I don't know what any of those things are. So we'll need the same kind of thing here. And I'll just, instead of draw, I'll just do this. Okay. And then I'll just do this. Just pass those on to each of those. And now I have to make them. So what I'm going to do is just going to copy this over to each of these. So let's start with fishing. Okay, done. That is so fast and easy and makes you love life sometimes, you know? Makes you feel like a genius. No, I mean, I spent so much of my life doing things the hard way that I've really enjoyed doing things a little easier in Love2d. It is, it's fun because it's like doing things in C with SDL. You have all the power, you have all the same capabilities because it's basically built on top of it. It's built on top of SDL and C++, I think. But it just handles so much of it for you. Like there's no malloc, There's no free. You just have to get used to the little foibles of the language. And otherwise it's perfect. So loving versus code. VS Code, yes, versus code. Yeah, VS Code is okay. I mean, I could be doing all this in oh yeah, love. Okay, I could be doing all this in a text editor, but I do love bounce. I do like bouncing. I'm enjoying bouncing around in here. So I do need in here local love equals require love. So they need that. They need that too. So I just did that one. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, I actually don't. You know what? I'm stupid. I take that out. Take that out. Stupidity. Take that out. Take it out. Don't take everything out. God. It's a little things keep popping up and I don't know what they mean. I don't like that, but I'm gonna get used to it. I should try writing some C code in this VS code. It would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Okay, let's go back here to main states.fishing.keypress. So it's just .keypress. So that was my stupidity. Stupidity. I'm too hard on myself sometimes. My oversight. I was overzealous in copying and pasting. Overzealous. So there we go. That should fix that little blue screen of death. Yeah, and now that I've got the Finder bug debugged and I've got this launcher thing, there's no reason to go back to Sublime Text and the Sublime Text and the terminal because I can do everything here. Hey, I could even call fungible tokens from here. Did anybody else redeem any of those that I missed? Okay, I don't see anymore. Yeah, and that launches good. So now what we want to do is I want to draw some stuff in walk. So here I actually will need local love equals require love. I will need some love commands. So this will have all the functions for drawing and things like that. And I think there will be some local functions too. I actually don't know how to do them though. I think because C lets you prototype functions. You prototype them at the top, and then you call them throughout. I don't know if you can prototype functions in Lua. So if I have like a local function down here, if I try to call it up here, it won't work. It's undefined global. But if I put this up here, no error, no problem. So there's a way to prototype functions so I don't have to have them all out of order. Like if I want function blah here, yeah, so that I don't understand. Stack Overflow says you can't prototype functions, so do you just have to have them in the wrong order, or I would make it a global function, I guess? How do you use local functions? I don't want other code units to access the local functions here. So it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. You don't. It's dynamically interpreted line by line, evaluated. It makes sense. That makes sense. Lua doesn't have a concept of type signatures or function prototypes. Type of foo is that of the object it contains, which is dynamic. Great. Function great. In practice, it first compiles your code into bytecode before executing it, but the compiler won't balk at something like this. Okay, so just out of curiosity then. I lost my chat window here. There we go. I doubt it will do anything. I doubt it will work. Just try it. It does not work. Okay. Attempt to call, yeah. So that's stupid. I don't like that. What's the solution to that? What's the solution? Solution. What is the solution? So you'll have to make sure that the code that creates a function and assigns it is called before you attempt to call it. That's the solution. You know, that's the solution. That's what I thought was the solution, and that's what I just proved was the solution, and it worked. And I don't like it. No, sir, I don't like it. Oh well. That means all these functions that have update and draw and key press, they're going to be calling a bunch of stuff that's local. I think if it's global though, which is absolutely crazy. Oh, I love this. You get an error, not an error, you get a warning telling you that the global variable is in lowercase initial because that's just a, it's not required to be capital, but that's just a, you know, a thing. Yeah, and so this will work. All right, I'm curious though. Can you access blah from here? Because if you can't, you can. Fuck. Damn. I was hoping that was going to be the solution, that if I tried to call it from here in main, that it wouldn't work. But alas, it is global. It makes it global. I don't want that. I don't want that, man. I don't want it. The other solution would be to write another code unit, like a whole other file. What are you serious? Oh, yeah, you are serious. You got to get rid of that. Write a whole extra file that this is like states, but then have like individual code units, states.fishing.functions or something .lua. So I don't know. We'll get there when we get there, I guess. But you know, before I do any kind of input, I actually need to figure out a map. So I need maps. So maps, we're going to do maps.lua. Okay, and I don't know what that's going to be yet. Local. Oh my God, I'm in caps lock. Return maps. All right. And then main. I'm going to load that. Local maps equals require maps. And these, guess what? That should be in alphabetical order. Now, why is that a different color? What does that different color mean? Whoops. What it? Do I have maps named somewhere else? Unused. Okay, thank you. Now I will never forget that. That would sit and infuriate me. Okay, so maps. Okay, so I do need in here state management. Let's just do a quick set up a map. Set up initial map. Map equals init map. No. That should be maps dot init map. All right, so we're gonna put that over there. Put that over there. We're gonna put that over there in there. Okay, function blah blah, and boom. No longer should be colorful up here. It isn't. Hooray. Hey, that's pretty cool. I could go through and see what's needs fixins. The variables? The variables. DT is not used anywhere in any of these. Oh yeah, it is. Cool. That's a different color. So it's like a bright, it's like a cyan here. And then over here where I don't use it, it's like that dark blue. That's cool. That's cool. It's dark. See how dark it is? You can't even see it. I'm too far zoomed in. Hey, Lockifer, how's it going? So, okay. All right. Let me get my document back up, which I accidentally closed. I have a design document that I went into Link's Awakening and I saw like the size of the screen and everything. It's very boring, so I'm going to keep this off screen. View, yeah, text. How do I wrap text in this text editor? I used to know how text editors worked. Word wrap. Okay, fuck it. I know you can do it in Sublime Text, so I'm gonna just do it in Sublime Text instead. I don't know where that document is. Fine. Fine. Keep that off screen. It doesn't matter. Not too shabs. Good, good, good. Same here. I'm doing some fun game coding stuff. Moving on to my next project, and I'm building it in a sustainable way. I'm using Visual Studio Code, which is an IDE. I wonder, can I make the text bigger? Because it's a little small, isn't it? View. I know there's a way to do different themes, right? Theme. No? Theme. No. I'm not using the right. There's some kind of search bar you can use. This is me being a complete noob with VS Code. I know some of the things you could do, but I'm learning little by learning, so it doesn't really matter. But the cool thing is I can launch the game from in here. It just launches, and then I can quit, and I'm back in. Settings cog in the lower left. Oh yeah. Well, there's a lot of stuff there. Themes. Yeah, there's like some search bar you can open. It's almost like Spotlight search. But and I just got disconnected from the chat and I'm back in. I'm back. We're back. But I don't really care. It's fine as is. This is actually a pretty nice theme. I like these fine neutral colors. So a map is going to be, the screen is 10 by 9 tiles. Okay, that's the whole screen. We'll say outside area is 10 by 8 explorable tiles with 10 by 1 at bottom for status bar. So that is what I'm going to do for this. I'm just going to have a map is going to be 10 by 9. So let's go ahead and set up a map. Local. Map. There, we have a map. Now let's actually... this is not going to be the best way to do this. But let's just do it... 1, 2... No, this is not right. This is not the way to do this. We want to do it sustainably. That's 9, 10. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be sustainable for now. We're gonna get a guy walking around, and then we're gonna make it more sustainable. This is something I need to have a system in place for maps, and I really don't know how I'm gonna do it yet. But as you can see now, I just have zeros and ones. Zeros are gonna indicate like fucking ground or something, and then ones are gonna indicate tiles. So let's get that working first. So in here, I do maps equals map init maps. Map equals maps init map. Maps equals map init map. That's terrible. Does it work? It does, hooray. Okay, so in here, I'm actually going to need a function for drawing maps. And where would that be? That would be in here, I guess at the top, because fuck everything. It could also be over here in maps. I think I like that. I like that idea. Local maps equals require Maps? Can I do that? Or do I have to go back one? Actually, don't know. No, okay, you don't have to go back one. So you don't have to go up to the root directory. That means also if I wanted to load in here from states, I would have to do that. Does that work? It does? Good. So maps. So we're just going to load maps. And you know what? Draw map. Draw the fucking map. So that's just going to be over here. Undefined global draw map. Oh, yeah. Maps. Fixed it. All those little things. Yeah, Lua is certainly weird. And I think even love is weird. If you do any file input output that's like you're writing to a new file or you're loading a file, it puts it all in its weird, hidden user library location, which for me it's like home directory, libraries, what is it? Application support, Love2d, and then the name of the program. It's so silly. You can't just load a file where the program's running. I'm sure you can do it with Lua instead of with Love. But I found that very confusing when I was writing my options and high scores in dicey poker. So now we have draw maps over here. So in here, let's write a quick function to draw the maps. Okay, and this is not going to be super sustainable. So we're just going to do for x equals 1 to 10 or y equals 1 to 8. And then it's going to be current tile is going to equal map. Yeah. And it's going to be, oh, Jesus. Okay. It's going to be x minus 1. And there's going to be a y minus 1 in here. So we're adding, let's see. We're going to add 8. No, we're going to multiply, hang on. We're going to multiply by 10. This times 10 plus that. I think that's right. So let me just logic this out. Coordinates. So this would be the first one. It's number 1. So in here what we have is x minus 1, so that would be 0, times 10, 0, plus 0. Okay, so I think we need to add a plus 1 at the end. This is because we don't index by 1 in Lua. We don't index by 0, we index by 1. Okay, then this one would be 1, 2. So 2 would be... Oh, you're an idiot. No, I'm not an idiot. I'm a smart guy. There we go. I had them backwards. So this would still be 1, so that would be 0 times 10. Plus 2 minus 1, which is 1. So 0 plus 1 plus 1. So that would be this one. So I think that's good. Okay, and then what we do is we're going to draw it. So we're going to say, I can't remember the size of the tiles, but if cur tile is equal to 1, then love dot graphics dot rectangle. We're just going to draw a rectangle for now. And it's going to be fill. And it's going to be x minus 1 times, I think it was 64, 96. And y minus 1 times 96. All right, let's just prepare to be shocked and amazed. Okay, we got a blue screen. Let's see. In function rectangle, what is the error? Bad argument number 4 to rectangle. Number expected got no value. 1, 2, 3. Oh, really? What are the arguments? What am I missing here? Oh, width and height. Yeah, of course. All right. That's what my map looks like. So if I come in here and I say put down a wall, yeah, just put that wall down. Okay, so we need a new file. Layer. Array. Maps, I guess, local player. And we need to do set up initial map, set up player. Player. Init player. All right. This is like so many files. It's ridiculous. But it's expandable. That's this. I'll be thankful I did this later. All right, so local player equals this. Let's just do this. X equals 1, 2, 2. Y equals 2. And then we want function player.draw player. And what we want to do is love.set. No, love.graphics.set color. It's going to make it red. And then we're going to say love.graphics rectangle. And it's going to be x minus, no, player x minus 1 times 96. Player y minus 1 times 9. This is all so unsustainable. Can't wait until I have a better system in place. And then we're going to do, we're actually going to do 84 and 84. And it's going to be, that's 12. So plus 6. Plus 6. And set the color back at the end. X player dot X player dot Y undefined field X. Really? Player dot X equals. Oops, wrong one. Okay. Player equals player init player. Did I forget to return? Yes, I did. Return player. There's the error. The little things you start to learn about how Lua works. Okay, so now that should draw the player. Oh, wait. But I forgot. Player. Draw player. Add the code at the top of this file. There's a little pop-up there. Look at it just pops it up if it knows. Like that was pretty cool. Can I how did that come up? Here, let's do that again. Let's try to re trigger that. Wow. That's pretty convenient. Boom. It didn't put it in alphabetical order. I just have to see. Is it going to put it in alphabetical order? Probably not. Yes, it did not. Oh, and it does this weird thing. I don't like that. Not a fan of that. I do that with my function prototypes in C, but I don't like the spacing here. We're gonna get rid of that spacing. Cool. Okay, so does it draw the player? It does not. All right, so cool. That's fine. Oh yeah, I forgot something. I forgot this should be fill here. And there's our player. He's a little big. He's a little big. So let's get that to 72. 72. That means there's 24, so this should be 12. Good. Good size. Good size player. Okay. So moving the player. Should have a function in here called player move, and it should be X and Y. And for now, I'll just say this: player X equals X, player Y equals Y. So pretty stupid and simple. But now in here, if key is equal to A, then player move player X minus 1 player Y. And I don't know why you're doing that. I don't know why you're doing that. All right. So let's see. WASD. W would be up. And I'm not doing these as else ifs because you can have more than one in at the same time. So you can be walking diagonal. You can walk diagonally in Link's Awakening. I tested it out. Player move. What's the problem here? Why am I getting so much? Oh, yeah. You need your end statements. All right, so now I should be able to move. Oh my. That's not right. That is not right. He's moving, but not how I want him to move. Oh, damn. Should be a pixel at a time, not a, you know, not a whole tile at a time. That's no good. And no seg fault if you go off screen. Okay. What's the best way to do this? I think what we have to do is I think no, there's multiple ways I need to do this. So let's just change the way this works first of all. So start is going to be, let's just do this. Get rid of this. And then what we're going to do is local start X equals 2, local start Y equals 2. Okay, and then what we're going to do is table insert player X equals, the way you do that? I don't think that's going to work. I think, you know, just doing it like this is probably a little better. All right. Player X equals, and it's going to be start X minus 1 times 96. Okay. So that's number 1, the first thing we can do. And let's just see. That should Shit. Start X -1. All right, I have to make this a little better, but little by little, you know. I don't know where the player is right now. So what's going on? Start X is equal to 2. Start Y is equal to 2. So that's going to be 96 and 96. So I can't imagine. It didn't, huh. Output? How do you print? How do you do anything? I know. Oh, that's not going to work either. Because that's just going to go away. Well, I'll have to figure that out later. But why is this not working? So, oh, I know why. Because drawing the player, then, I don't have coordinates anymore. I have actual X and Y values. Actual X and Y values. So that's great. Actually. So it was drawing it way off screen. Like thousands away. Player, it was in hell with Titus, whatever you want to call him. All right, that should work. I keep alt-tabbing because I want to go to my terminal and type love.dot, but we don't do that anymore. All right. So now I only move a pixel. And that's more like what I was thinking, but it should be a little smoother, shouldn't it? It shouldn't be like this. But that's okay. So now in walk, I think instead of key pressed, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do it in key pressed. We're going to do it in something else. What are we going to do it in? We're going to do it in key down. Love.key pressed. Removed. Love. Key released. Aha, yes, I got it. So we need both of these. Cool. So over in main, what we're going to do is I'm going to say, I have this love.key pressed. So now we're going to say key released. And it should be all the same. Key and scan code. Da, da, da. All right. So then I have to go into each of these files and add this function. Oh, and that should be key released. So now we're going to check if the key is pressed, and if it is, we're going to say, okay, the left button, or A, is pressed in. He's moving left. We're moving left on. Then we're going to check when the key is released, is he's moving left? Stop moving left. So that's how that's going to work. It's that simple. So I just need to add all these in here. This is one annoying part about doing it this way is I didn't have to add all that, but you know, I did just to make it easier for later. Okay, let's go through these one by one. And I might not need these for everything, but if you leave them empty, it's okay. Like if you don't add anything to that, you never know if you might add something later. But if you have empty functions, it's fine. The compiler will optimize that. I'm just kidding. But now we're going to do function walk dot blah, blah, blah. Okay, and the way we're going to do that then is we're going to have in the player dx dy. All right, so now if you type in W, you're going to say player.move 0 minus 1. And then A is left, so -1, 0. And then for S is down, so 0 and +1. And then D is right, so 1 and 0. Okay, so now these are not... Okay, let's get this in here. So we're going to use that same function in here, but we're going to change the way it works. So we don't want to stop moving. So what we can do is... Oh, interesting. Yes, that's right. Player.dx, yes. We don't want to change the dx and dy if you let go of a button. Like if you're walking up and to the left and you let go of left, you don't want to stop walking up. So then we're just going to pass that on, and these should be dy, dx, dy, dx. Okay. So now in player, player move. What I'm going to actually change this to is player walk. Okay, and then we're going to have another one up here that's going to be player move, and we're going to pass dt. So I'll need another function in here that it should be above draw player. Function player move dt. So right now what we're doing here, we're having dx and dy. We're not actually changing anything, but dx and dy, you are changing. Okay, so we're turning on and off. Dx is like, are you moving? And dy is, are you moving up or down? And dx is, are you moving left or right? And then player move, what you can do is player x equals player x plus player dx. We'll just say times 100 times dt. All right. dt is how many, it's a fraction of a second. It's how much time, every time this thing is updated, every time update gets called, how much time has passed since the last time the update function was called. And it's in seconds. So it'll usually be like 0.001 or whatever. And so we don't want to move a whole lot, but we don't want faster computers. We don't want players to move faster on a faster computer than on a slower computer. So if you're moving for like 5 seconds, you want to move the same distance on a slow computer and a fast computer. So that's why we use this DT. So whether you're running at 30 frames per second or 120 frames per second, it's not going to make, it's not going to make a difference. Plus this. Okay, so this is a -1 or 1 or 0. If it's 0, they're just not going to move. You're not adding anything. If it's -1, then that's going to go -100 times dt. So let's see if it works. Okay, it's not quite working because I'm not holding down anything right now. Not really sure why. Player dx. All right, so somewhere my logic has failed, and that's all right. Player x equals player x plus player dx or y. Okay, yes. We're here. If, oh yeah, that's the problem. So over here, we need to do player dx. I forgot. When you press a key, you have to retain that state. So that should fix that now. Okay, something's still going wrong. Oh, and this is what's going wrong. When we release the key, you should set this to equal to 0. I forgot to make that change. Okay, so now it should work. And it does. It's a little slow, but he's moving. He's walking into walls. That's okay. And this is the point where we can change this where it feels natural. A little too fast, for example. For 300. You gotta have good game feel. That's pretty good. I won't know until I actually put a sprite in there. That's like walking, you know. Okay, so that's a problem. But I think so if I hold left down and then I hit right. And then I let go of right, he stops. I'm still holding left in. He should be walking to the left at that point. Okay, so I have to change the way I do this a little bit. That's fine. So what we're going to do instead of dx and dy, we're going to say left equals false. Let's do up equals false, left equals false, down equals false, right equals false. We're just going to use up, left, down, right. Okay. And then if dx is equal to -1, then player left equals true, and I don't think that's going to work, though. Let's see. Let me think about how to do this. The best way to do this, so that it's just not a gigantic mess of spaghetti code. I guess spaghetti code's not the worst. Wait. Gotta be a better way to do it. I mean, this is fine, but it's a lot of that stuff. dy, but I already have the code in place. dx is equal to 1, then player right equals true. Yeah, that's not going to work. That is not going to work. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Key pressed. Player. Walk. Key. Player walk. Unwalk. Key. Okay, this is better. We'll have a function called walk, and we'll have a function called stop. Walk, stop. And it's just taking the key. So now over here, what we can do is we just do this. E. I kind of like that unwalk, actually. So maybe I'll do that. I'll keep it as unwalk. All right, that's even better. So now what we do is if key is equal to W, then player dot up equals true. I am connecting to chat right now. Welcome to chat room. Thank you, Twitch. Thank you so much. Else, if key is equal to A, then player left equals true. Else, if key is equal to S, then player down is equal to true. Not is equal to. Else, if key is equal to D, then player right equals true. Thank you. Thank you for the welcome. Now we can just do the same thing. There's probably a king's way to do this, honestly, where you can have it all in one function. But this way works, and it won't have a lot of crazy logic. So we're passing the key that's being pressed into here, and then, you know, what I could do, I don't actually know. How do you do left arrows? I'm not actually sure. Like, how do you do left arrow? Keyboard. Key pressed. Key constant. I might as well put those in now, right? Numpad, yuck. Up, down, left, right. There we go. I thought it might be that. Or key is equal to up. Or key is equal to left. Equal to down. Or key is equal to right. All right, and then what I could do here is just... And then, you know, if I have, I'd be able to use, actually, I would have a function for a controller. The controller function would take the input and convert it to one of these. It would convert it to one of these. So actually, what I could do is over in walk and unwalk, it's have a function that would determine what... This is fine. There's the king's way to do it. I'm not doing it the king's way. We're doing it the Ethan way. Have to be the king's way. Not everything has to be the king's way. All right, let's just see. First of all, does it work? No, it does not, because I didn't re-add player move. If player up, then player y equals player y minus 1 times 300 times dt. And I always will do these in WASD order, which is actually different from how I did it, how I've done it in the past. I've always done north, east, south, west, but I'm doing it in WASD order. Player axis is left minus 1, down plus 1, right plus 1. Okay, so now, okay, so back to where I was. I'm moving around. Now if I hold down left, and now I hold down right, nothing's happening. It's just, he's just staying put. And if I let go of left, left in, let go of right, right in, up, down. Can't do all 4 with one finger for some reason. Down, up, down. Yeah, good. Interesting. Hmm. Weird. Okay, if I have left and right held in, I can move up and down. So I have left and right held in right now. So he's moving left and right at the same time. um, down, down and up. We go in the middle. Down and up. I'm holding them in. Now if I hit D and A, nothing happens. I wonder why. Because it is an else if thing? No, it should just come in with a single key in here. So why is it doing it one way? It's fine, but the other way is not fine. Hmm. All right, go through. Let's just do logic. I will be calling in walk, holding down two buttons. W and S are coming in. They're going to set player up to true, player down to true. Then I'll hit A or S. It doesn't matter. Oh, no, A or D. Yeah, that's right. And then left will be equal to true. And if you let go of left, it'll equal false. So it'll have player here. Let's see. Up is true. And down is true and left is true. Let's see what happens if I set that be the case. All right, he is walking left. So that actually works. So it's not in the player move function that I'm having a problem with. I think it's in this. I guess what I could do is I can change these else ifs to just this. So just like the other one. You might get, I don't know. Now, when you press the key, you're just getting a single key. You're not getting multiple keystrokes. Unless I'm hitting them at the exact same time, which is clearly not the case. Oh well. See if that makes a difference. I don't know how I got down there. All right, so left and right, up, down. It works. I'm holding left and right in, so he's canceling out. Now up and down, hold those in. Right, left, still doesn't work. Why not? How bizarre. How bizarre. So it wasn't this. Not move. I don't think it's move. Well, really no. I don't really know. Let's try the other one. Let's do this. So left and right by default is in. So they should cancel each other out, and then down is in. So he should walk down right at the beginning. He does. Okay, so that's fine. So now we're going to do up and down, and then we're going to do right, false. So actually, let's do this one true. And this one false. See what happens. Okay, well, it was working. Huh. Don't get it. Okay, so it's not this function because it's working. If I set those equal, it works. Player up, player left, down, right. That function works fine. It's got to be this. It's got to be this somehow. Player up, player left, player down, player right. Down, left, up, right. That's right. I guess I could do just to test this. Okay, if I hit right, it's going to clear the screen. Or not. It doesn't clear the screen. It's too fast. It's happening before draw. So that's not a good way to debug. I'm just thinking of a way to debug because I don't know how to do that in VS Code yet. Oh, what is this? Why are there so many terminals open? Holy crap. Every time you launch it, it opens a new terminal. Holy shit. That's how you debug it. How many are open? Good God. Oh. Cool. Okay. That's how we debug. Hello. All right, let's just see here. All right, when I go to the right, it says hello. All right. Yes. All right, up and down, held in. Nothing happens. So it's not getting to here. Bizarre. So that the problem is not in here. So the problem is not in these functions. These functions are actually good. But I want to just quickly make this parallel. If I could actually spell, I'd be good. Okay, so it's actually here. Okay, S and W held in. I want to type D. Nothing. D and A held in. I want to hit W, S. It's doing it. It's writing it out. So why doesn't it do it? Is this just like a... Is this just a limitation? It's not calling this function. It's not coming here. If you hold in up and down at the same time, it's not calling this. I don't think that's going to make a difference, but I want to just see one more time. All right, down, up. If I hit any other code key, it's not working. Oh wait, something happened. Huh. Bizarre. I don't know why. It's like it doesn't like certain combinations of code. It doesn't like certain combinations of button presses. Is repeat. Maybe I need to take that out. I think I know what's going on. Let's actually go here. Is repeat. Whether this key press event is a repeat. So, if is repeat, we're gonna return. See if that fixes it. All right. Okay. Up, down, right, left. It did not fix it. Damn it. I was just thinking because holding down those buttons, it's like sending a constant stream of up and down. But it's not, though. It's only calling it. Only calling it once. Right? I'm not actually sure. No. Whoops. It's not that one. It's this one. Wait. This one. Alright, I guess I don't know what is repeat is then. It's not that. Damn. Damn. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Key repeat needs to be enabled with love.keyboard.set key repeat. So that's one of the reasons why. So maybe there's something in here, actually. All right, we're changing how we're doing it. We're changing how we're doing it. We are going to change how we're doing it. I'm getting rid of these. I'll keep them in there. Keep them in there. Okay. Change how we do it, though. In update. We need let's see, is down. No, I'm curious before I do all that. Before I do all that, I want to just see in here when we're moving the player if love.keyboard, did I load love here? I do. Keyboard dot is down. Yeah. Then print right. All right, so just curious. Just curious. All right, that's how we're debugging. I'm just trying to figure this out because it's not behaving the way, it's not behaving right. So if I hit right, oh yeah, well, duh. I'm not actually hitting right. D, let's do D. WASD. Oh, this, caps lock can be N too. So it could be an issue with that. So let's just see this. Yeah. That one up. Right? Okay. It's typing in D. We just need one of those. So we have a positive or negative here. All right. So if I hit right, you can see the little D when I hit D down. And if I have capital D, oh, capital D, Still thinks it's D, so that's good. Caps lock D, yeah, nothing. Okay. So I'm holding down left and right. He's not moving left or right. And then when I hit up and down, okay. Now, if I hit down and up, it's like it doesn't. Okay, if I hit, so I'm holding W and S right now. If I hit the arrow keys, left and right, it works. Left and right arrow keys, that works. The arrow keys work. Up, down, left, right, that works. Why is what's the problem with WASD? Come on, man. I prefer WASD. It's just not working for no reason. It's just silly. It's just silliness. There's something about holding W and S in that there's just something about holding W and S in that it doesn't like it. W up, A left, S down, D right. Yeah, that's right. Arrow keys work. WASD does not work. And this is for like edge case bullshit. This is like what I'm so upset about. that you're not supposed to hold down left, up, and down at the same time. You're not supposed to be trying to move up and down, but you might, because you can in Link's Awakening. You can. Actually, it's a D-pad, so technically you shouldn't be able to. But if you're playing an emulator, you can. So, okay, it's fine. We'll move on. I've got walking. It's fine. Walking works. So I guess the one thing I have to do then is I have to have a thing like check for walls. So we have to do is check for walls. I'm going to do that. What am I going to do? Where am I going to incorporate this? It still bothers me. It still bothers me a little that this undefined behavior. It doesn't make sense though. Some keys work and some keys don't. So that's just utterly confusing to me that there's just something weird about holding down W and S that it doesn't let you type anything else in, and it's just A and D. Some like E, it was letting me hit, or G, it was letting me hit, but just A, WASD. If I hold down A and D, I can do W and S fine, but if I hold down W and S, I can't do A or D. What's going on, man? What's going on with that? Confusing. Not a problem. Not a problem. All right, so let's think about this. Let's think about walls, walking into walls. It's always a problem. You don't want to walk into walls. And this is what's weird. His starting point. It went from like being about here to being like up in the wall. So that's bad. First of all. Oh yeah, I see. So yeah, we need for draw player. Player X, player Y. 96 minus 12. That should be right. 24. What's the deal, man? What's the deal? Why are you starting in the wrong place? -6 minus 12. If I have any other minus 12s anywhere, it just should be here. Oh, that's funny. They rearrange. VS Code rearranges the order of the members of this table in alphabetical order. down, left, right, up, I explicitly declare X and Y first. And I think, in fact, it indexes it. So player index 1 is going to equal X. But I'm not going to, get upset about it. I'm a little upset about it. Minus 12. Oh, yeah, that should be plus 12. That's the problem. That should be plus 12. That is the problem. So, problem solved. Problem number 1 solved. Now he starts in the right position. Good. All right, I guess I could start with finding out is he colliding with a wall or not? That's what I want to find out. So I guess what I need is a function, and I'm going to call it is collision. And I'll put x, y. So, is collision, should that be like a... Should first of all be a local... Maybe that should be a map function, actually. I think it should. It should be in maps. So we're going to put it over here. And we're going to just have a function. It's going to be called function maps is collision x and y. And so let's see. So we first need to convert our x and y values into... so it's going to be screen coordinates. We're going to convert it into actual coordinates. So coord x. Whoops. Coord x equals something. And it's going to be... So we have to do the opposite thing. So we have to do... let's see. We multiply by 96, and then we subtract 1. Multiply. So we're going to divide it by 96. Then we're going to add 1. And I think we need to round that. Was there a round function? Do we need to round it? How do you... What's... I need to get an integer in Lua. I've done this before, and I can't remember how to do it. I know I could round it, but rounding it would just make it... round... floor. Yeah. It's floor. That's what I did before. So that's going to be math floor. Okay. Then what we can do is say, are we colliding if map chord y minus 1 times 10 plus chord x minus 1 plus 1 is equal to 1, then we're just going to do this for now. Okay, so that's fine. But what I need to do here is local maps equals require maps. Okay, and then I guess when you move the player, what you need to do is call maps is collision player x player y. Okay, So that's fine. I should get a bunch of like no's down here in the terminal. No. Yes. Oh, look at that. That's pretty great. You can see it switches to yes, collision down here when I go into the wall. Oh, but that should be a collision right there. It's not until he's up here. All right, so the interface. All right. So floor is not the solution to this. I have to think about how my coordinate system works. This is not ideal because I'm going from this tile system. Tile system, it's you know, not continuous. You have coordinates 1 1, 1 2, 1 3. But then the player location is continuous. X equals 1 all the way up to x equals 96. That's going to be in coordinate 1. So I guess if I can. Right, just to do it. I don't get this. This is frustrating. Okay, so it is converting it over here. Yeah, that's right. And then 1 2. So now it's thinking it's in there. Okay, so it thinks I'm at 3 3, which is 1 2 3 1 2 3. That's right. And now it thinks I'm still at 3 3. Until I'm here, and then it thinks I'm at 3 4. All right there, that's where the change happens. So this, I'm here still, and now I'm down in here. I don't do a lot of this kind of coordinate stuff, Cartesian planes and all that. So converting from the continuous XY screen coordinates to the tile, that's a little hard. So that's where it should be a thing. So what I can do is, let's do this instead. All right, and do a little bit of math here. That should be 1 2 3 1 2 3. Now, I think let's just logic this out. Use brain. Use brain. X minus 12. Y minus 12. Here we go. All right, and then X plus, so it's 96, it's 72. So it's going to be 12 plus 72, 12 plus 72, 84. There we go. If this or that. All right. Wow, that's so cool. If it doesn't do anything, they darken it. So I had this commented out, and it like darkens the whole lines, but then when I put that back in, it brightens up the day. Okay, so what I'm doing here now is instead of I'm actually generating two sets of coordinates. One is going to be the this the left and up side, and then the other is going to be this, the down and right. So let's just see. I don't know if that's going to work or not. So there it's saying a collision is occurring, which is not quite occurring. That's a little strange. And it's saying a collision is occurring there. So I think it's working, but it's a little maybe it's that. Just take those out for now and do 96 here. Okay. All right, shit. That's even worse. Okay, so that should be, what should that be? Plus 72? Oh yeah, okay. That's right. We're not moving a blank rectangle. Yeah, okay. I realized what I was doing wrong there. So this should actually now fix it. So, yeah, so that's great, actually. So it's now colliding. So you see down here, it says yes. So that's considered a collision right there. And it's really if the right side of the rectangle or the bottom side or the left side or the top side, if they're in this tile here, it's considered a collision. So that's great. Okay, so our collision thing works. So return true, return false. So collision or not. Now I have to put that in here. Where am I going to put that in? Move. I guess it has to be in here. Whoops. So it has to be in here. Right. I think I'll do it in here. It might get a little messy. But it's okay. And what we're going to do is while this, we're going to put a while loop in there. While it's a collision, player y equals player y plus 1. So the reason I have to put this in like this is you move a different amount. Like if you're on a fast computer, this DT is going to be really low. And if you're on a slow computer, it's going to be a little higher because that's the amount of time that passes in between ticks. So, you know, if I'm like moving left, I might be right up against the wall or I might be a little in the wall. So anyway, what I'm doing is after moving up, you know, we moved like an unspecified number of pixels up. 300 times dt pixels up. Now we're in a collision, so what I have to do is undo it, and so I'm going to walk back down 1 pixel at a time as long as we're colliding. So now I can actually put this in all of these things. And also, this is going to work because of the order. The collision is detected, so it was the Y, the up movement that caused the collision. And so we can undo that. And now this is left, and so that that left movement caused the collision, and so we can undo that. But if it's down, so you're doing all these at the same time, you have to move the Y value, and then you're going to move the X value. So this should be pretty quick too. Like this should be imperceptible. And then right, layer X. Oops, we're going to say minus. It should be okay. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but it should. And it made it like almost unreadable. Whoops, I can't zoom out. Can zoom in and out like that. That's not. Let's just see what happens. It stops him. He can't move. So he just goes right up against it. So that's beautiful. So collision detection works. Hooray. That's pretty cool. Is he moving fast? He's moving pretty fast. So that should also protect it. So I don't think there's any perceptible change in let's see. Yeah, that's pretty good. So look how the wall changes its trajectory. The collision. Like I'm just walking diagonally. That's pretty cool. So it walks diagonally, changes collision. So I think that's how I want it. Ooh, look at that. we got a weird thing happening. Now, why does that happen? Why does that happen right there only? That's not counting as a collision. Dang it. Okay, well, can't all be winners. What causes that, I wonder? Like this corner, he's hitting it. But this corner here, he's hitting it. And you can sort of see him bouncing. All right, if I hit down, see him kind of bouncing a little bit? That's because he's moving down one and then back up. So 1 pixel at a time. I could probably prevent that. But this is a little confusing. So why does that not work? It's like not considered a collision until there for some reason. No one. Why? Why? All right, we can stop. No, I guess not. That's fine. I don't need to do that. He can bounce. He can bounce a little bit. In the game, he's going to be, his feet are going to be moving, so. I think this is a problem with, it's a problem with this. This. 6, that's right. plus 1? Yeah, that's right. You're just undoing your calculation. Undoing the calculation. So, All right, let's just get in there and see. A little debug nonsense in there. So, this is the bouncing. You can see the bouncing happening. So it's bouncing. Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. So why is that not? It's not counting that as a collision until you get up here for some reason. I don't get it because the rest of these are fine. I guess what we can do is do this. All right, so we'll see what those coordinates are. I think it's a math mistake. All right. Two, 4, 3, 5. 2, 4, 3, 5. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2, 4, or 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I see. Huh. I get it. I get it. Okay. So I have to do some more. I can't just check I have to check all 4 corners. I get it. The check that I'm doing, I'm checking if this corner is colliding or if this corner is colliding. I need to do all 4 corners. So that's pretty unexpected, but it makes sense. So y1, x1, y1, x2, y2, x1, or y2, x2. So 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. So that should fix that. Yeah, now I can't crash into that corner. Great. Yay. That's pretty cool. That's a really interesting but you know, if I hold down left and right don't get into that again, man. Don't get into that. You gotta enjoy your laurels, right? Rest on your laurels. All right, I think let's just get some more stuff in here. Walk, draw, maps, draw map. Yeah, let's go there. Let's just go into maps, draw map. That should be the first thing you do. I wonder though. Well, no. Let's do it here. So love.graphics.clear. And we'll just do this. And then for that, let's make these like more like tiles. So let's make this 84. 84. We're going to add 6. And add 6. And then this color should be love graphics set color. Let's make it like, that's like yellowish. like that. And down the bottom, one. All right, cool. So just a little graphical update. We just made them into tiles. I'll load actual sprites, or I'll draw actual sprites. And you can see I made him a little smaller so he doesn't go right up against them, but he goes pretty close to them. That's really funny that I was like, I want it to be brown on green. And I just, I know the hex code. I don't know the hex codes, but I know approximately what blend of colors will make you brown for a tile. So it's red and green. It's a little more red than green. If you add equal amounts of red and green, it's a yellow hue. Anyway, that's pretty cool. I got collision detection. I got walking around and still printing stuff out. It's not, so great. I wonder about this. I don't like this launcher just, keeps loading me up with terminals here. Because I had like 27 instances of the terminal open there. So I wonder if, I don't know how this thing works. Love launcher. Let's go in there. Alt L to launch love. Set the max amount of instances you want to be able to spawn at one time. That's set to 1. Should love be executed with the console subsystem? Windows only. So, that's just a little funky. I guess that's just a little foible I'll have to deal with. The launcher overwrite the first process when launching another one? I don't know. You tell me. Let's try no. That just save automatically? Huh. I don't know. No? How do you save your settings? Extension settings. It recognizes that this is wrong. How do you say? Oh, maybe like save? No? Close saved? Oh no! I closed everything. Extension settings. If I open the extension, okay. No. Oh my god, I don't know how to do this. I feel like a boomer. Backup and sync settings. No, I'm not signed in. I'm not doing anything like that. Workspace. Here. Boom. That should do it then. Didn't. Okay, fine. I just don't want this. I don't want them to pile up. I'll just have to remember to close them periodically. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have 17 million terminals open. It really doesn't, as long as you're under PID limit, which I'm never gonna hit. It's just kind of silly. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. What is this? Also modified in workspace. Also modified in user. What's this? Love launcher config. I don't know. I don't know how VS Code works. I don't even know if that setting's going to do anything. Should the launcher overwrite the first process when launching another one? I would think yes. I would think yes. Should the launcher overwrite? Oh, but by default, that's checked on. Checked on by default, so that shouldn't be a problem. Let's go back into this. Extension settings. Modified in workspace. Is it? Alright, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I just don't care. You're only supposed to open one. It's now open two. Yeah, okay, well, I'm killing time here because I could figure that out later. It's not a big deal. I also wonder maybe it's doing it because I'm in this token generator thing. Probably not. Documents, games, love. No. ActionGame, that's what we're calling it. It's because I can launch from the terminal just fine. I just want that keyboard shortcut. Yeah, it opens a new one no matter what. It doesn't make a difference. It has nothing to do with the token generator. Cool. Cool. So I guess let's think about animating. Think about drawing a actual tile. So I can make some art assets. So let's first of all make a new folder here. And we're going to call it assets. And that should actually be there. Okay. Assets. So assets are going to be in progress assets. These are going to be things that are not finished yet, or they're in progress that I can add to blah, 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 blah. So let's make a new one. Oh, cool. That was one I did before. Let's do a new file. And they should be, I guess, 128 by 128. Oh my god. I have music open somewhere and it just started playing because I hit the play button. It should be 128. The height should be 128, and this should be 256. Actually, let's make it, what's 128 times? Let's do 4. 512. So 5, oh yeah, 512, duh. Let me move this so that I can see the chat, just in case anyone chats. And so this is now your 128, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just going to add a new layer here. Layer. It's going to be layer 1. We're going to do a rectangle. Build rectangle. And it's going to be blue, and it's going to be 128 by 128. And 28. Oh my god. There we go. Now we're going to do this. Right, that's just gonna help me draw them a little nicer. So that I know where where the sprites end. Cool. It's my sprite sheet. So the first thing is I want like a grass tile. So grass tile. Oh no. Tolerance. Here, let's do this. I don't run into that problem again. This is probably a good grass color right here. And maybe it should have like some grass blades or something. Oh, and I could animate that. You know, I've actually done sprites of grass. No, it looks terrible though. It's not that it looks terrible. It's just that it's very low resolution compared to 128 by 128. It's like 16 by 16 or something. We're just gonna do some of this stuff. It's fine. And let's do that. Make it seem sort of random. Not super random though. Hooray. We have grass. I'm gonna stop streaming at 9:30, so I'm racing the clock right now. Okay. That to be more like a blade of grass, and maybe that can be darker. Too dark. That. Too much. Okay. I mean, this is gonna look bad, but it is what it is, you know? I haven't done pixel art like this in a long time, so is what it is. Oh, and it's gonna have to scale down too, so it's gonna look, well, I'll say it'll look interesting. Actually, Love scales down pretty well, I think. It's surprisingly good at scaling down. Scales up terribly though. Everything ends up looking really blurry when you scale down. All right, there's our grass. Now we're gonna do one of these things. One, two, 1, 2. There we go. Whoops. Let's do 4 down, and then it'll be 129, 30, 1, 2, 132. So right there. And then that's going to be, what's 128 minus 8? It's going to be 120 by 120. Right there. Right, and then we're just going to do another one inside. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to be 112 by 112. Oh, something went wrong math-wise. Something went wrong math-wise, that's for sure. So let's just fix it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder about that. Mathematically, I'm not sure what I did wrong. All right. I'm not, this doesn't have to be perfect. This is just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. I want to load sprites. I want to put that into my program, but I need sprites to do so. All right, there we go. There's that's our tile. That's just a block. But let's put a little character on it. That was too big. Some little white details here. Yeah, that's terrible. I don't like that corner. I guess maybe let's do this instead. It's not gonna look right though. Not doing what I want it to do. That's fine. It doesn't have to. It could be just like that. Okay, now I need a guy who's gonna be walking. So we're just gonna do like this. Oh yeah, also. Whoops. We're gonna get rid of the background there. We don't need it. And we're just gonna draw a little dude who's gonna be, whoops, who's gonna be walking. So, I should have sprites for like walking left, walking right, walking down, walking up. But for now, I'm just gonna do like this. That's a person right there. Look at how great this person is. God, that's terrible. Good enough, I say. Oh my. Kind of looks like a person. All right, how am I going to get him over there? Go doubled up. All right, so first of all, I'm going to do this. And I need this thing. Where is it? No, that's not right. It's fine. Let's do it this way. Okay. And we're going to do this vertical like that. There we go. And now this one, we're going to just do the same thing here. Oh, yeah. And then, hmm. Something's wrong with this. Something's wrong indeed. Feet do not curve that way. Oh my god. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Let's be perfect. All right. I'm gonna do this. Good enough. All right, let's get rid of all that blue. All right, there's my sprite. So you can tell he's walking. So we've got our sprite. This will be, whoops, we'll just put some eyes on there. Do that over here. Repeat. Whoops. Disappeared for a second there. Good. So let's save this now. This is going to go into ActionGame. This is going to be assets, and I'm going to call this sprite sheet. Okay, and then I can export this as a PNG. And that's going to be in art, and I'm just going to call this sprites.png. And it's probably okay to do it at 128, 128. File format doesn't support layers. Yes, that's fine. Got rid of the layers. Oh, I think everything is on layer 1, yeah. So it's fine. All right, so let's just quit out of that, and now I need code in here. So I need a thing called sprites.lua, and I don't have time to do this tonight, unfortunately, because I'm going to end the stream right here. But this is where I'll pick it up next time, and I'll just, before I do anything, I'll get this into main.lua. So I'm going to do that. Main.lua sprites. There we go. And yeah, I'll figure that out next time. I guess I'll do like a function load sprites. This will be sprites.load sprites. And then I'll have a function sprites.draw sprite. And it'll be x, y, and then sprite, n, sprite. So I'll load them. Then I'll say, you know, draw them, so on and so forth. So, but I'll pick that up next time. So thanks everybody for hanging out. I'll probably do this again this week because I'm enjoying it quite a bit. And I don't know. I think this is pretty cool. I got collision detection. That's super cool. I got walking around, and I have this super robust system where I'm building things from the ground up in a way that makes sense. So I think I don't know. I think it'll be cool. So anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out. I'll see you later. Bye.